It is Wednesday, October 6th. And as usual, it's time for our appointment, our noonday inspiration. As we give our friends a chance to join this inspiration on Wednesday, we're getting ready to celebrate that big season that a lot of us love, Christmas. And here in Jamaica, we're getting ready to celebrate our Heritage Weekend. So much that we can learn from. Today, we are using the Daily Inspiration for Better Living, a signature publication of our parent organization, the Universal Foundation for Better Living. And this month, in the month of October, we are looking at the gift of enthusiasm or zeal. You know, that pep in your step, that thing that keeps you going, even in the midst of whatever may seem to not be going well. That kind of excitement, that kind of push and drive. So the spiritual faculty is enthusiasm, and the disciple associated with that spiritual faculty, Simon the Canaanite, and the physical center is at the base of your brain, and it's associated with the color orange. So for the month of October, we are calling forth zeal and enthusiasm in everything that we do in our life. Zeal and enthusiasm in our relationships, zeal and enthusiasm on the job, in our everything. Our writer for this month is Reverend Sherry James. She comes out of Los Angeles, California. She is the senior minister there, and so we're sending her some love for her inspirational writings for this month. And today she reminds us to appreciate differences. What a powerful lesson, to appreciate differences. You know, often we meet people and we come upon differences. We differ on different things. And she's saying to us, you know, there's value in differences. It's okay for us not to like the same things. It's okay for us not to want the same things. It's okay for us not to do the same things. You are you and I am me. So there's a space for all of us. Yeah? If you agree, type in agree. There's room for all of us. There's room for all of us to coexist in this world. If all of us were the same mind, it would be a boring place. You know, so it's about us appreciating ourselves and appreciating each other and allowing each other to just be themselves. Come on, team. As the team takes us through this wonderful song done by Patti LaBelle called Oh People.
We are one big family. No one would have to beg to eat. If we live in a world of dignity, no man would have to live on the street. If I tell you you're a part of me, there's no need for disbelief. Take my hand, they will know that what which we can own. Apart we are weak, together we're strong. Oh, people, yeah, we're all writing this song. We're all living these words together forever. There's no reason. Of all the possibilities that the eyes of a child can see. Think of all the opportunities that flow right by you and me. So here's my hand. We will know that what we dream we can own. Apart we are weak, together we're strong. Oh, people.
What a powerful reminder. As long as you stand here behind me, we'll live on. People, we are all in this together. We're all in this together. Despite where we're coming from, despite our differences, we're all in this together. Reverend Sherry tells us nature is such that no two things are alike. Too often we run away from that which makes us different, or we vilify the differences we see in others. But growing up spiritually, she says, demands that we look upon the differences we find in ourselves and others with loving appreciation. Let us be flexible and forgiving when the differences in others rub us the wrong way. May we extend to them the grace we desire for our own happiness. You know, it's so important, you know, sometimes, more often than not, the things that rub us the wrong way about others is some kind of difference. In other words, we don't see it the way they do. They didn't do it the way that we wanted them to do it. They didn't say it the way we wanted them to say it, whatever it is, and it rubs us wrong. And today we're being asked and reminded to appreciate differences and to maybe take a step back and to see it from their perspective. And now this is not about even right or wrong, but we never know where people are in their own soul growth. We never know what's going on. And so we need to think of it as if I was in that position, if I was in that place, how would I want to be treated? We know of the golden rule, do unto others as have them do unto us. And so sometimes, even appreciating the differences doesn't mean that you condone a particular behavior, but you can understand that that's how it's expressing at this point in time. And even in the midst of all of that, our statement that we say every Sunday here, that I am one with God, I am one with all people, I am one with all life, is still true. You know, sometimes people ask, so does that mean I'm one with the thief, or does that mean I'm one with a rapist, or does that mean I'm one with a murderer? But what we're really saying is that that is the behavior of a person. It's not the real of them. The real of me and the real of you is not always our behavior, because our behavior does not always look loving. Our behavior does not always look or sound kind. So that's not the real of us. That's the behavior in that moment. The real of us is how we were made in the beginning, that pure, natural state of godness, of goodness. You know, that baby in that pure form that comes into this space and is just lovable because there's nothing until, you know, you begin to teach the child all kinds of stuff and you begin to learn everything from the environment. And so in appreciating our differences, we have to remember who we are as spiritual beings, because it is the forgetfulness that we can separate people from their behaviors that gets us into this thing where we have all of this war and strife and anger and resentment. Reverend Sherry tells us we contribute to world peace when we embrace what makes us different from others, and when we make allowances and appreciation for the differences we find in others. Think about it. That last person you had a disagreement with, that last time you got upset or angry with somebody, how could you have maybe appreciated the difference or made allowance for the differences? How could you have possibly understood or tried to understand from another perspective? How could you have, instead of seeing them as whatever you saw them as, to see the real of them? And even in this moment, going forward, on your job, that person who you can't agree with, in your home, in your neighborhood, on the road when we're driving sometimes, in your friendships, online, how can we be just a little bit more kind and understanding? And how can we understand that everybody is operating from their own level of understanding and there's no judgment? What a world it would be if I love you as I love myself. Beautiful song done by one of our artists here in Kingston, Jamaica, Elaine. And if I treat you like I treat me, what a world it would be. If everybody had adapted that just for today, if you could extend that love, the love that you have for yourself, to everybody else, and if you could treat everybody else as you treat yourself, what a world, what a world, what a world.
Time is wasting. We were meant to love each other. Whoa, yeah. Separation is the root of all our problems. Oh, whoa, yeah. If I hurt you, then I hurt myself. Hate you, then I hate myself. If I kill you, I kill me. But if I love you like I love me, and if I treat you like I treat me, oh, what a world, what a world, what a world. Yes, this would be, oh, what a world, what a world, what a world. Yes, will I see you and me? Yeah. Whoa, yeah, yes. Time is wasting, 'cause we were meant to love each other, yes. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Separation is the root of all our problems, yeah. Whoa, oh. If I hate you, then I hate myself. Hurt you, then I hurt myself. If I kill you, I kill me. 'Cause if I love you like I love me, and if I treat you like I treat me, oh, what a world, what a world, what a world this would be. Oh, what a world, what a world, what a world. Yes, when I see you and me, that you are me, you are me, yeah, you are me.
Yes, a beautiful, beautiful song inspired by the Holy Spirit coming through Elaine. We're loving her and blessing her wherever she is. And so I'm asking you to just spend some time now to think through, if you were supposed to go through your life now and the people who are in it, is there someone that perhaps you need to release your unkind thoughts and attitudes or feelings about them? Think about it. Is there someone that perhaps you don't see eye to eye, that you perhaps need to just allow them to be without any unkind thoughts or feelings? And here is your opportunity to just change that narrative. Here's your opportunity to just level up like we're doing in the AIF series that we kicked off on Sunday. Here's your opportunity to find a way to appreciate the difference. Maybe it's just a mental word that you say, I bless you, I free you, I release you. Maybe you're just saying, I see the Christ in you. Maybe it's your kid, maybe it's your child that is, going through whatever they're going through. Maybe it's your best friend. Maybe it's your parent. Maybe it's your partner. And there's that moment when you just need to become still and in your mind say, I see the Christ in you. I see the Christ in you. And keep calling it forth, calling it forth, calling it forth, calling it forth. Because remember, we're connected. We're not living in isolation, we're connected. And so that connection that we are, as you are calling forth the Christ in each person, that vibrational energy is going forth. Because remember, we're told the words that we speak does not return to us void, but accomplishes that which we sent it to do. And so we are now being called to see things higher, to see people higher. They may have done something, they may have said something that, like Reverend Sherry says, really rubs you the wrong way. But can you see beyond that? And perhaps they did the best that they could in the situation. We don't know. But even your holding on to the difference is causing a separation. And whenever you think separation, whether it be for yourself or for somebody else, you're setting up yourself for failure. You know why? Because we're never separate. We're never separate. There's only one, and we're never separate. So if you are separating yourself from people, it means that you are giving in and binding and feeding a consciousness of separation. What do you mean, Conroy? When you want your good to appear, when you want whatever it is, whatever your good looks like, when you want your money substance to show up, when you want your health to show up in a particular way, when you want your relationship to be loving, when you want your, job to be successful, because you entertain a consciousness of separateness, because that's where you are living, then what you experience is separateness. Because remember, your consciousness only knows you. So if you are choosing to be separate from people, then don't expect that. Same thing for your good. It's going to be separate from you. We have to continually live and focus in oneness. We have to continually be forgiving those things that rub us the wrong way. Continually, so that we can experience the love. There's no way that you can live in hate and experience love. There's no way that you can live in separateness and experience oneness. There's no way that you can be looking and focusing on the difference and then expect peace. It just doesn't work like that. So I keep thinking of myself, I am different from you in whatever way. And that's what shows up in the world. That is why people feel that they can treat people the way they treat people, and they can kill people or they can steal. Because if I knew that I am one with you, if I knew that how I treat you, I treat myself, I would need to steal from you. I would need to fight you. I would need to curse you, because in cursing you, like the song says, I'm cursing myself. I'm treating you just as how I would like to be treated. Now, many of us might be guilty of that, but this is not a call to beat upon yourself. No, it's not. Again, the first person that you have to start working with is you. And maybe it is that there's a part of you that beats upon yourself quite often for any mistakes that you have made. Maybe you have conflicting, people call it split personalities, but sometimes one voice tells you this and another one tells you this, and you keep going between the two. But you have to start with you. You have to start with you to appreciate you and to forgive yourself for any of the missteps, because not all the time we get it right. Nobody ever got it right all the time, not even Jesus. But it's that ability to recognize that, hey, I made a mistake, but I'm not a mistake. I made a misstep, but I can acknowledge that this is a misstep. I can correct it and I can move forward. I'm not living there. I'm not going to beat upon myself. I'm not going to feel guilty, because guilt is a perfectly useless emotion. But I'm going to acknowledge and take responsibility. And as I do that, I can grow. And so Reverend Sherry gives us an affirmation. She says, affirm now, I recognize and release any unkind thoughts or feelings I may harbor towards another person or group of people. I recognize and release any unkind thoughts or feelings I may harbor toward another person or group of people. Sometimes we put people in groups. Those people over there, then they whatever, and they're not like us. We are whatever. And interestingly, even as colored people, sometimes we complain that we are discriminated against and that there's racism and that there's that. But if we're supposed to check ourselves, we put some people in groups, those people over there, that kind over there. For whatever reason, we label them because they are different from us. We label them because of religion, because of color, because of socioeconomic background, because of sex and sexuality. We just label people and create differences, as opposed to appreciating the differences as what makes us uniquely different. Reverend Sherry says, we each represent an aspect of our loving Father, Mother, God. We each represent an aspect of our loving Father, Mother, God. And so I affirm that the divine nature of all people, and I extend love to each evolving soul. Can you, despite someone's behavior, affirm their divine nature? That's what namaste means. It means I salute the Christ in you. That's what ashe means. Ashe means the God in you, that God presence. That I'm saluting it. And I'm asking you today, I'm asking myself today, can you begin to see the God presence in every single person you come in contact with, even if they don't see it for themselves? Can you begin to see it and call it forth? Call for that God presence as opposed to focusing on their differences. Because at the end of the day, we all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Can you? Come on, we all are one.
We all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Same universal world. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Same universal world. I'll be you, you be me.
No matter where we are born, we are human beings with the same chemistry. With emotions and feelings, we're all corresponding in love. We're compatible.
Can't get around it no matter how hard you try.
be you, you be me, you be me. We all are one. Same universal word. I'll be you, you be me.
The only difference I can see is in our culture. The shade of his skin doesn't matter.
Oh, we smile and we all live for the feelings that
Make all those faces always renew.
so pretty.
So true, so true.
Won't you believe that I have all the same feelings too? The same as you. We all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Same universal word. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Same universal word. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. We all are one.
Keep that music going, please. Keep that music going. It is what we're talking about today. We all are one. We all are one. Same universal person. I'll be you and you'll be me. And this is supported by Ephesians 4:4-6, that tells us there is one body and one spirit, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, and the Father of all. In case you wondered where it came from, we all are one. And so as you go forth today, let us stay in that space of oneness. And let us see others just as how we want to be seen. And call forth that Christ in each person. As we're knowing that the light of God is surrounding them, and the love of God is enfolding them, and the power of God is protecting them, and the presence of God is watching over them. So that wherever we all are, God is, and all is well. As usual, thank you all so much for joining us for this noonday experience. I see you sending the love and sharing the love. And I'm asking you again, as I ask you every week, share this with someone. Share this message so that they too can become a part of this consciousness of oneness. And be reminded, all of us need to be encouraged at some point or another. So share this message and join us every day for a noon experience at 12 o'clock. Join us on Saturday for our prayer vigil beginning at 9 on Zoom. And on Sunday again as we kick off the spiritual week of adventure and faith, where we are leveling it up and experiencing our abundance right now. As the team takes us out again, we all are one. Put a pep in your step and enjoy your week.
We all are one.